Hey guys and girls, I'm Allie, and today we are doing the second half of the RWBY Volume 7 OST. Only the lyrical songs, but... well, the first half was interesting. Some of the songs I really loved just for the message they gave, and some were a little bit like... yeah, it's nice to listen to them, but maybe not my favorites of all time. But right now we're getting into the 4 last songs of the volume that were spread out through the last 3 episodes. So we have Hero, which was in episode 11. We have War, which was in episode 12. And then we have Until the End and Fear, which were in episode 13. I'm just gonna go through those songs in this order because that's just how I do it. And you can see I don't have anyone standing up there right now because I don't have Ironwood as a figurine, and nobody else deserves to stand on that place when it is an Ironwood song, right? So, Hero. There's one thing that really bothers me about it. And no, I'm not gonna say it's a bad song or whatever. So, I've been a fan of Caleb Hyles for quite some time. I have listened to a lot of his cover songs. So when I heard that he would be... when he was the lead singer of that one song, I was just like, oh my god, he brought it far. Because he started out with cover songs, with RWBY cover songs. Then we had the part where he was singing with Casey, the Red Like Roses and Red Like Roses Part 2 stuff. So he got that far, and now he has an original song, which is, as far as I know, his only actual song that he hasn't covered at all. So that is the song that is originally his voice, his song. The one thing that bothers me about it is that it's called Hero, and for a long time, everyone who will Google or search in YouTube Caleb Hyles Hero will have the first hit on the Skillet cover. And then it will be this song. This is what bothers me. Yes, it's nothing about the song, it's just that Hero by Skillet, the cover from Caleb Hyles, will be the first hit almost all the time, probably, until that's the problem. I don't like that, but it is what it is, and Hero is probably the best title for the song anyway, so let's just all be happy that Caleb Hyles is now an official RWBY singer. It made me happy, and it's an Ironwood song, so Ironwood is an interesting character, as we all know. He's a good guy in his own sense, but he took it a little too far in some ways. But that's just how he rolls, right? So, Hero is the song that played during his fight with Watts. So, definitely something to look forward to, because that fight was awesome. That episode was awesome. So, let's get into the song that was awesome. Because, no, I don't want to do that. Right. Because we have waited for... like, most of the people have waited for Hero and War the most, I think. And I have waited for those songs too. And I'm gonna listen to it now and hope that it's the rest of the song that we don't know is as good or even better than the part we already know. So, let's go in 3, 2, 1, and go. Ooh, that's ominous.
I'm here to protect you. Nothing will stop me. Understand, there's no sacrifice that I won't make. I'll risk it all to keep you safe. Trust me, to be strong. I'll be your hero. Just hold on.
I have chills.
I would die without regret. I'd offer up my life.
I love the picture.
With zero reservations, I would fly into the sun if that would keep my dream alive. Deliver you from harm, shelter in my arms. The fear will surely fade. No, right now the plan I made will guide us all. We'll survive this storm. I will fight for you no matter how I am despised. Betrayed as cruel and heartless, I am mine. I have power, I do process, I will slide. Our enemies destroyed, metal I'll deploy. No chance that I won't take. My oath to you I won't forsake. Hope's not gone, just hold on. Take my hand, I'm here to protect you. Nothing will stop me. Understand, there's no sacrifice that I won't make. I'll risk it all to keep you safe. Trust me to be strong. I'll be a hero. Just hold on.
I love that part when it was in the episode.
What if it's true if they say that I don't have a heart, that I'm more a machine than a man? What would they change? Would it matter at all? I've made my plan. Hearts and minds may not agree. Emotions stop all strategy. You can't believe in honesty. That your children can't win the war.
Wow.
Take my hand, I'm here to protect you. Nothing will stop me. Understand, there's no sacrifice that I won't make. I'll risk it all to keep you safe.
Trust me to be strong. I'm your hero.
Just hold on.
Ooh. So, the new lyrics we got actually give us a lot. Wow. Okay, first of all, props to Caleb Hiles for that beginning part. That gave me chills. Like the chorus, but more this. I don't know how to describe it, but it would have been a waste of a song if you didn't have Caleb Hiles do things like this, because his voice is great, and those tones he could hold, like, I don't know how to describe it actually, but just the slow but really difficult singing part. Yeah, it would have been a waste if we hadn't had something like that in the song, because that's what he's really good at. If you've never seen or heard like his cover version of This Life Is Mine, go watch it right now. I won't even be mad if you stop my video right now to watch it. because that's amazing. And he gave me chills there. He gave me chills here because, wow. And then we have about 1 minute in the start of the song that we know, which was playing during the fight. Without regret, I would offer up my life into the sun if that would keep a dream alive. So it's just this, okay, I'll be your hero. I'm gonna do everything I can for you, even if it costs me everything. And even if it costs me any trust that I got from anyone else. Portrayed as cruel and heartless, yeah. What is very interesting is the part in the bridge. Of course, because bridges are everything in RWBY, basically. What if it's true as they say that I don't have a heart, that I'm more a machine than a man? If anyone had ever a doubt that this song is about General Ironwood, nobody has now. Because, yeah, the Tin Man not having a heart, him being more machine than a man, like having that part of the parts of his body as machine because he lost them somehow. We still don't know how exactly. But yeah, this is basically like, okay, him saying, what would that change? Would it matter at all? I've made my plan. Hearts and minds may not agree. Emotions topple strategy. You can't believe. Okay, that part is what he was talking about with Oscar there that one time before he shot the child. Spoiler alert. But what they were talking about, like, maybe that's Salem's, like, advantage, that she doesn't have emotions, she doesn't care about anything, so she can do more. And that was what Ironwood was saying, and this emotions topple strategy is kind of a play on this, like, if we show emotions, our plan's gonna fail. And this is actually like him not only talking to Oscar, but kind of also talking to Ozpin, because then we have, you can't believe in honesty that your children can win a war. Which is a really nice callback to Volume 2, Episode 2. It's been quite some time, but this is a callback to this. Do you really think your children can win a war? And Ozpin answering, I hope they never have to. But now they have to. And Ironwood's opinion is still the same. Do you think that children can do that? Do you really think that children can win the war? Sorry about that, but I was just noticing that my screen capture was also recording my mic. And I hope I can fix that in editing or something, because I don't want you to hear too, like, much weird sounds. My computer is just acting up all the time right now, but yeah, your children can win a war. And that is, like, maybe the most important line, the callback. Like, do you think the children can do what I can't do? And that he believes he has to, well, further follow his own plan, because that is a plan of an adult. Yeah, we can all discuss if what he's doing is right or wrong, but yeah, shooting Oscar was definitely not the right decision, but everything else can be discussed. So, that was Hero. Really nice song, gave me chills in the beginning, of course it would. Why was I ever doubting that? But yeah, that was Hero, and it definitely delivered. It's a short song, I mean 4 minutes, but like still a little too short for my liking. Okay, the first minute was only like the real, like, ominous almost sounding, this you know? So technically it was only 3 minutes of like the more like instrumentalized song stuff. But yo, it's still, we still got a lot. So let me fix some things. And we are back with Yang and Weiss again, because this is war. No, not that this is war. Not the title of This Is War, just war. A very interesting song that I was looking forward to a lot, because this song is sung by 4 girls, which are now called the Maiden Quartet because the name just stuck. And Casey Lee Williams, Adrienne Cohen, Erin Riley, and Dawn M. Bennett. So I've had, okay, since we knew the beginning of the song, or I don't know if it's the beginning or just like a middle part or whatever, but we knew part of the song from the fight of Team RWBY against the Aesops, which will probably be the theme through it all, because the lyrics we had seemed a lot fitting to the situation they were in at the moment. Like, okay, I thought we were friends, but I guess we're not, so we're gonna kick your ass now. That's what I took away from it. But having 4 girls sing it, for young women, of course it kind of intends to sound as if it were Team RWBY singing that song, which is very interesting because beforehand we never had it like that we actually had, okay, this is another character than this. Usually that was in duets or whatever, but most of the time, even if a song was dedicated to more than one person, only Casey would sing it probably. Like with the intros, they are about all the people, usually, but only Casey sings them. So this is different. We have 4 people here, and of course there's the question, who is who? And with the lyrics we knew beforehand, I have kind of thought about what could be, just because of the sound of their voices and what they did beforehand. So Casey sings a lot of songs, so I was leaving her out for the moment because, you know, she basically sung everyone already. Even like in the first volume, because we had all the trailer songs. But then we go to Adrienne. She was singing Yang in Nevermore. That was the only song we've heard her before, so that is how I'm going with it. She is gonna be Yang. Just a hunch. It's a theory. We can see if it fits. Then we have Dawn M. Bennett, who is the voice actress of Elm. She didn't sing before, but like I said, voice actress of Elm. Her voice is also, she doesn't fit to anyone that would be like, she doesn't fit as Weiss or RWBY. Just her voice is a little bit deeper. It's a little bit less Weiss or RWBY. So I was saying, okay, then maybe Dawn is Blake in this occasion. So we have Casey and Erin. And I wasn't sure about that, but then I was like, okay, Casey is technically the actual, like, singing voice of Weiss, because Weiss is the only one, except for Jean, but you know, that guitar stuff. Weiss is the only one who was actually singing in the show. This is why I was like, okay, maybe Casey is Weiss and then Erin is RWBY. And I don't know if that's true or if there's no reason at all, but we will go into the song and I will see if that still fits. So, let's... Nope. Let's go in 3, 2, 1, and go.
Never really had a problem with you. was true. Put my trust in you right from the start. I never dreamed that you would be my enemy. My life just take my life. You screwed me in the perfect way. A friendly drag. Just another mourner, pretend to follow orders. Leave behind your conscience, abandon those who need you most. Convince yourself you're noble, but we both know it's not so. But if you cross my battle line, you'll find you'll be sorry that you tried. If it's war that you want, then you got it. If it's pain, then I brought what you need. If it's true what they say, you're the best in this way. You won't believe it until you see it. When I kick your ass and look you in the eye, with a smile and a cheerful heart, I'll turn to you away.
I was a little caught off guard by the picture, and I'm trying to make sense of it right now, but song first.
I'll be honest, I was plenty surprised. Turn from family to full on display. Just like you to take the coward's way out. A book of lies with no replies. This giant drives your victory, no doubt. You knew the cruelest things to say, then ran away. Filled with spite and taunted, like Judas and wanted. Just a mindless weapon pointed at an enemy. A simple tool providing someone else with victory. Now that you cross my battle line, it's time that I blow your little mind.
Okay, I'm gonna take back all the theory that I had. The picture definitely makes more sense with the second verse.
So my friend, I really must give you the credit. You achieved the goal. Perhaps the first time in your life you felt control. I'll never trust the same old same friendship as just another game. Full of winners and losers, selfish abusers. You failed to fly, but somehow I'm to blame. If it's war that you want, then you got it. If it's pain, then I brought what you need. If it's true what you say, you're the best in the play. You won't believe it until you see it. When I kick your ass and look you in the eye, with a smile and a cheerful heart, I'll turn to you away.
Okay, so like I said, I'm taking everything back. At first I was like, I don't know, so they're actually like just two girls, two Aesops instead of like just the four girls. But listening and reading the lyrics to the second verse definitely made me rethink that. It makes more sense now. Like the problem with like the first verse is more like it could be anyone. Like, put my trust in you, I never dreamed that you would be my enemy, friend betrayed, content to follow orders is definitely like the girls telling them like, yo, you're just following orders at the moment. Abandon those who need you most, definitely. And also the chorus is just like, if it's true what you say, you're the best, then let's play. It's like, okay, you're trying to tell us you're the best. Nope, you're not, basically. And then the goodbye. And then the second verse comes around. I'll be honest, was plenty surprised, turned from family to full on despised. Just like you to take the coward's way out. Book of lies with no reply. Blah, blah, blah. Knew the cruelest things to say, then ran away. So, the thing is, that part made me realize, yes, that part can't be sung. That's the thing, it could be sung from the RWBY girls. I'm not sure, to be honest. It can be anything. But what I can say, I'm just gonna stay in the realms of what I can say, because I'm confused as to who could be who. If it's really like Ruby and Yang against Harriet and Elm there, or if it's something else. But that part, just a mindless weapon pointed at an enemy, a simple tool providing someone else with victory. They love the volumes 1 and 2 callbacks here, do they? Because that's definitely a volume 2 callback. Time to say goodbye. Wow, I just realized the ending of the chorus is goodbye. I turn around and say goodbye. Wave goodbye, okay, but wow, I just realized that. That is an even like greater callback in combination. It's like, okay, it's time to say goodbye. So we're saying goodbye now. This is war. We're saying goodbye to our youth. And it could be that maybe this is the RWBY girls telling the Aesops, like, now you're just a mindless weapon pointed at an enemy and providing someone with victory. Like, in time to say goodbye, we were like doubting ourselves, and we're saying, what if we are just fighting someone else's war? And now they're saying, hey, you, the Aesops, you are doing something that is like what we thought of us once. You are now just mindlessly fighting a war where you didn't pick the side, you're just following orders. That is kind of what I got from that. And then it was like the line with the that I blow your little mind, which makes way more sense if that is probably Elm saying it. Like, it would make more sense because... Or Harriet, but like, little mind is more something that one of the adults would say. But yeah, interesting song, interesting. Definitely something that took probably a lot of time for them to coordinate with 4 people. Definitely a song I would listen to and still think about who everyone could be, who might be right, who might be wrong. It would keep me awake at night. Probably won't, but still. War. One of the songs I was waiting for, and they managed it well with all the 4 singers. Definitely. So. The next one is Until the End, and as a picture I see the RWBY in Volume 3 thing, which I'm not quite sure if, like, the thing is, like I said before, all art usage is our own interpretation and not canon, so we have no idea if that was intended. Now I'm thinking about who I could just put there. I think I'm just gonna leave those 2, but know that I have no idea who exactly this will be about. Until the End, it played during the episode, it played during our... Well, when everything was kind of wrapping up and Ospen was talking, even though the Ospen talk is definitely in another song, so Until the End is not about that, but it was playing during that part. So, I'm curious. I wanna hear that song now. Wasn't that the one that Casey wrote herself? Yeah, probably, because the title is just by Casey Lee Williams with lyrics, so it's nothing about Jeff. So that is the song that Casey wrote herself. which is interesting. Maybe we're gonna hear some parallels to the Okay Goodbye songs. But let's just start in 3, 2, 1, and go. It's very somber. It's very sad.
A new day is gone without a trace. All memories are dark and light is fading. We try so hard, but what are we fighting for? We're losing all our strength. How can we give more? Time falls away, but pain always finds a way to stay. The tears that you shed may find a tree to water, but only when you're stronger. I promise I'll be here until the end. I promise I'll be here until the end.
Okay. That's a sad song. But also like a kind of bittersweet.
To live free or die, it's all the same. The enemy was right.
Wow.
There's no reclaiming. In waves of shame, we're desperate to make amends, but through a simple soul we lie complacent. Love brings us dreams, but grief makes the heart burst at the seams. As light fills my eyes, I'll picture me beside her and pray that I'll inspire. I promise I'll be here until the end. I promise I'll be here until our story has been told, till our bodies break down every door, till we find what we've been looking for and stare with pride into the face of fear. In our finest hour, I'll be standing here. And should we fall to darkness, this power I will harness. I promise I'll be here until the end. I promise I'll be here until the end.
Well, that song gave me chills too. Yeah, Casey is definitely good with songs like these. I'm kind of sweaty right now. I don't know why. Okay, I can definitely understand the RWBY summer things here. Because, yes, definitely. Like the beginning the things we heard in the episode might have been just okay. But what we got new was definitely Ruby and Summer. Gone Without a Trace. This is very, very, very somber. The light is fading. We try so hard. What are we fighting for? So this is like the doubts. Like, we're losing our strength. How can we give more? Time falls away. Pain always finds a way to stay. So it's always there. We can't lose it. The tears that you've shed may find a tree to water, but only when you're stronger. Okay. Since I'm in the Discord for Sirs and Madams Entertainment, this is meant to be a tree. Bruce was saying, like, okay, I'm trying to make this look like a tree, but I'm not sure. But it looks like a tree, so I can get behind this. You did a good job. So technically, like, it can get better, but only if we overcome the darkness we're in right now. And then, like, the promise, like, I'll be here until the end. No matter how it ends. No matter if we will lose or if we will find a way to get through this darkness, I will be there. And then... to live free or die, it's all the same. That's the line that made me chill a lot. Like, to live free or die, it's all the same. Like, the living free, could that be like in ignorance, living in ignorance, like not concerning ourselves with the problems, and then die for this, fighting against those problems, is all the same, because in the end, if we don't do anything, we'll die anyway. Could that be the meaning? I don't know, but this line gave me chills a lot. The enemy was right, there's no reclaiming. This definitely makes sense with the picture we have here of Ruby. That was when Salem was telling her, like, your mom said the very same thing to me. Not in that tone, but, you know. Well, in waves of shame, desperate to make amends, but through a simple soul we lie complacent. This is an interesting line too, because we know simple soul, victory is in a simple soul, all that. We know that it's talking about Ruby probably all the time. We lie complacent. Very interesting. Like they're kind of, it could be kind of like, okay, everyone's putting all their trust in Ruby, but that doesn't make it better? I have no idea, to be honest. And then the love brings us dreams, which is very interesting in comparison to the song Trust Love, because there it's like, yeah, you have to get into reality, because love can make the reality better. You don't have to dream. Which is kind of negating all that. Like, love brings us dreams. Like, you think that love will make reality better? But that is a dream too. But grief makes the heart burst at the seams. Yeah. Grief is stronger than love in this case, in that song. And then we have As Light Fills My Eyes, which is a very clear indication that we're talking about people with silver eyes. And then I'll picture me beside her. And then Summer and Ruby side by side. Definitely Summer and Ruby. And pray that I'll inspire. I promise I'll be here until the end. So that makes me just think that it's just a summer song about Ruby, and be like, I'll picture me standing beside Ruby and giving her the strength she needs to do what has to be done. And just being there, even if I can't actually be there, I'll be there in spirit until the end. Which is so bittersweet, and wow, it almost makes me cry. It probably makes me cry right now. I can feel it. Until a story has been told. Till our bodies break down every door. Till we find what we've been looking for. And stare with pride into the face of fear. In our finest hour, I'll be standing here. That reminds me of This Will Be the Day. Prepare for our greatest moment, prepare for our finest hour. So, the finest hour will probably be, well, going up against Salem. And should we fall to darkness, this power I will harness. So, the power she will harness is definitely the Silver Eyes. Technically, I think. I mean, should we fall to darkness, this power I will harness. I mean, this could give fuel to the people who think Summer's still alive. Be like, okay, if everything goes down and RWBY can't do what has to be done, then I will harness another power that I have somehow. I don't know. It could be. I promise I'll be here until the end. This is such a somber and bittersweet song. Like, I'm trying not to cry, but it's now the third time that I'm trying to get it away, get the tears away. This is difficult. Wow. So I found what I was looking for. I was just trying to find that one, this patch with the rose, because I needed to have something here to honor this Summer and RWBY song. Because that is sweet and sad and whew, let's get on with it, right? So, the next two songs that we're listening to, we already know, but Fear is still a new song, still not too much talked about, even though we all know this is the song that kind of has this whole Ozpin speech in it, and I know all the lyrics to it, so sorry not sorry. Let's just get on with it. Nope, not yet. I'm gonna count first. Fear, which is the ending song, and also a very somber song. And it's very, like, even though, like, Until the End was, had those lines with the light in my eyes and all that, which is very specific to the characters. And are like, okay, the Silver Eyes power. We know about that. Fear is a song, since I have listened to it many times now. You can't stop me from that. It's a song that keeps the meaning very vague. When we know where it belongs, we totally know what it means and how it is, but it's just a concept. This concept of fear. The song Fear and the feeling, the emotion. And it displays this concept so well without actually saying, hey, this is for those characters, this is for RWBY, like the show RWBY. This is why Fear is one of the first songs of the RWBY Volume 7 soundtrack to actually join in my Hell's Child playlist for my novel trilogy, because it isn't too specific. It would fit with a lot of other characters, a lot of other situations, and it's still a great song, and it's still telling us a lot and all that. So I'm gonna be listening to Fear a lot more after that, because I really like it. I like it. So let's start in 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh, before I start, I'm sorry, but I decided. Wow, I forgot my own plans. I know that the song is technically just like the Ospin talk, but since Cinder is the only one that was in this volume that I have a figurine of, and I didn't put up before, I thought Fear would be the best song if I wanted to put her up there, at least like for one song, because we didn't have like an actual villains song. So that is why Cinder's up there now. So let's go in 3, 2, 1, and go. I also like the structure of this song, like 3 lines and then we have a break. I'd understand if you'd rather not talk about this. There's always a chance that we might remain in ignorant bliss. Most of the time we coast along, safe from the storm. We follow our hearts, trust what feels right, keep to the norm. We are lucky if our lives can avoid it, but fear changes all of our choices. Who will you see there in the darkness when no one is watching? Who will you be when you're afraid and everything changes? When you see a stranger, feel proud of being betrayed. All of your life guided by truth, right from the start. Then one twist of fate in the blink of an eye, and it all falls apart. What happens then when all that you knew just fades away? When you lost all control, you broke from your soul, and fear has its day. When you make the right choice in that moment, will you stand and be brave or be broken? And as always, I love the meaning of the bridge most of all. Especially the end of the bridge. We live in fear that we might fail, fear that we'll succeed, fear that we may not provide the things our loved ones need. But our greatest fear will be realized if we fall and lose ourselves to fear. We've become what we feared all our lives. Who will you see there in the darkness when no one is watching? Who will you be when you're afraid and changes when you see a stranger. The crowd of betray. And that's the song. That was Fear, and well, there are a few things you could say about this song. First of all, how it connects to what Ospen was saying. But honestly, we all know how it connects to that. Then you could talk about how Ironwood is succumbing to fear. He is basically the main, like, person who is affected by this in, like, the group of the good guys. I don't want to actually say good guys, but, like, I know that we have all the stuff with, like, how Cinder was afraid of failing and all that. But then there's, like, the Ironwood stuff is very prevalent of he was afraid that the plan that they had beforehand might fail, so he made another plan. And he changed because of fear. And he's not the only one to change because of fear. But a good, example. One thing that I would really like to talk about fear is just how true it is, how real, basically. It's like, okay, most of the time we don't have to be afraid. We just do what we think is right, and if that helps us, then it's nice. But then it's like it's like this, yeah, if you're afraid, how will you change to accommodate for that fear? What will you do to escape that fear? Like, we had the things with Lionheart in Volume 5. He was afraid, and he betrayed Ospen because he was afraid. And all this kind of goes into a very real topic, because there are instances all over the world every time someone is afraid, and because of this fear, they do split-second decisions that might do more harm than good. But in that moment, it feels like the best way to escape that fear. All of your life guided by truth. Yeah, the thing is, like, all of our life we're kind of gripping onto what we think is true, and then if something changes, we're basically afraid of that change most of the time, except if it's a change like in Brand New Day, because that's a good change. That's a really good change. But technically, like, if something changes and we didn't make that decision, if something changes around us and everything's kind of falling apart for the moment, we're afraid of that. This is a very real fear. Will you make the right choice in that moment? Will you stand and be brave or be broken? And that is a very important thing. If you're afraid, will you stand against it and do something about it? Or break down and do whatever will get you far away from that cause of fear as possible? And everyone's perceptions of how to be brave in the face of fear and how to be broken in the face of fear is different. So we could take the example of Ironwood, for example. He thinks for himself that him making another plan and doing everything he has to do is brave in his opinion. For other people, this might be that he broke down from fear and is trying his best not to succumb to it, but it doesn't work. So this is really, like, it depends on the perspective. And I like how they address that. Like, it's more like they don't say, hey, this is brave if you do this, and this is broken if you do this. No, it's just there's a choice between those two things. It can happen either way. And we don't know it until we experience it. We can't say, hey, yeah, when I'm afraid, I'm not gonna run away. We don't know it until it happens. And that's the thing. Then we have we live in fear that we might fail. So, and that is the most interesting part. But our greatest fear will be realized if we fall and lose ourselves to fear. We've become what we feared all our lives. This is a very important line because we're not only afraid of things that happen, we're also afraid of what we might become if we succumb to fear. And that's a really nice line, just to make sure, like, yeah, if we do something we're not proud of because we were afraid of becoming this person that we are not proud of. And it's a never-ending cycle. Then, when no one is watching, feel proud or betrayed? And that is the question. Will you be proud for yourself for standing up against it, or will you feel betrayed? I really like the song for just the concept they were just talking about, which is also why I like the Ozpin speech in the end of the volume, because it's just so real, and it doesn't only apply to the RWBY universe. It applies to everything, technically, in smaller or larger scales. And that is what makes this song so great, because it can be just not really adapted. It doesn't have to be adapted. It can just be interpreted in many ways for many people in many situations. And it's still true. And yeah, that's why I will definitely put it into my playlist for my novel trilogy, because there are a few people who do some things out of fear. Fear of being betrayed, for example. Like, okay, she's gonna betray me anyway, so I'm gonna do anything to betray her now, because I know she would have betrayed me if I didn't do anything, or something like that. It probably doesn't make sense without context, but those were all the new songs. And as you can see, there is another song we have, I May Fall Acoustic, which is very nice because I love the song I May Fall. Of course I do. And an acoustic version? Nice. So, this video is not from Sirs and Madams Entertainment, but as I said, check those videos out, check their reactions out if you want, because they're music experts, so they will definitely say a lot about the music. It's a whole new, like, perspective, so I would definitely send you there to watch it if you haven't already. But now, this video is from the Modern Camera guy. Camera? Whatever. Thank you for making the video. There are multiple of those videos for the acoustic version of I May Fall, but I just like the velvet on there. So this is why I chose it. And this is how I will basically end this video to not make it too long. So for the first time, I will say goodbye to you before we're still doing something. So I had fun. I don't know how I would rank the songs. I think I have to think about it a little bit more. After I'm done here, I'm gonna react to the Volume 8 sneak peek, which is probably gonna come out... Depends on how much I have to say. It's gonna come out either the same day as this or the week after. So... I hope you had fun. I had a lot of fun. New songs are gonna come into my playlist. And yeah. On this note, have a nice day, enjoy the song, and I see you in the next video. Bye!
There's a day when our hearts will be broken, when the shadow will cast out the light, and our eyes cry a million tears. Help won't arrive. There's a day when our courage collapses, and our friends turn and leave us behind. Creatures of darkness will triumph, the sun won't rise. When we've lost all hope and succumb to fear, as the skies rain blood and the end draws near, I may fall, but not like this. It won't be by your hand. I may fall, not this place, not today. I may fall, bring it out. It's not enough to take me down. I may fall. There's a place where we'll stand outnumbered, where the wolves and the soulless will rise. In the time of our final moments, every dream dies. There's a place where our shields will lay shattered, and the fear's all that's left in our hearts. Strength and our courage will run out, we fall apart. When we lose our faith and forsake our friends, when the moon is gone and we reach our end, I may fall. There's a moment that changes a life when we do something that no one else can. And the path that we've taken will lead us one final stand. There's a moment we make a decision not to cower and crash on the ground. The moment